If you're a football gamer, here's the big question staring you in the face this week. Is EA Sports FC 26 finally the year-to-year upgrade that feels different on the pitch, or just another kit with the same tactics underneath? Advanced Access already lit up the forums with login errors and early frustration. Enough that EA posted an official "We Hear You" update. We're going to break down what's actually new, where it could change how you play on day one, and what the early signals from Steam say about launch momentum. I am Jake and this is nerdsection.com. Quick rewind. FC 24 launched in September 2023 as the first year of the rebrand away from FIFA. New name, same core, with a big promise that the license split wouldn't gut authenticity or content. It didn't, and the series kept its leagues, stadiums and ultimate team backbone. A year later, FC 25 landed at the end of September 2024 and played like a refinement pass, adding new wrinkles and modes but largely familiar on the sticks. That's the recent baseline FC 26 has to beat, and it's the bar fans will judge it against the second they load into kickoff. So what is EA actually changing this season? The headline from EA's own pages is an overhauled gameplay slate shaped by community feedback. That includes more responsive dribbling, smarter off-ball positioning, retuned run curves for more explosive players, stronger ball shielding and improved goalkeeper reactions. Under the hood, you're also getting closer body animations that should make shoulder-to-shoulder duels feel less floaty. If you've ever yelled at your winger to make a run and watched them admire the grass instead, this is targeted at you. One of the most interesting additions is two distinct gameplay presets. Competitive is tuned for head-to-head modes like Ultimate Team and clubs with snappier passing and more direct control. Authentic dials the game toward career and exhibition, with defenders holding shape, more realistic corner outcomes and those messy, desperate goalmouth scrambles you see every weekend in real football. In practice, this is EA acknowledging that sweaty online meta and single-player sim should not be the same physics sandbox. There's also new structure around player identity. Archetypes and expanded playstyles and roles promise clearer strengths and weaknesses you can actually feel. Think of it as the difference between pace merchant and the defined blueprint that affects first touch, bodying through contact, or how a keeper parries onto danger versus safety. That matters for squad crafting and, more importantly, for how skill expression shows up in tight matches. Career and clubs aren't being left behind. EA is pushing manager life challenges to inject fresh storylines into the season, plus clubs and career rewards baked into pre-purchase items even on the standard edition. If you live in those modes, the loop should feel busier out of the gate. Also worth noting, if you play both FC 25 and FC 26 before November 1st, EA labels you a club member with exclusive benefits in FC 26. That's classic live service retention, but if you're already on the grind, it's free value. On PC, EA published a separate deep dive highlighting specific attention to that platform. Historically, PC players have had to suffer through weird parity gaps or anti-cheat headaches. EA says it's addressing responsiveness and platform polish this year. We'll keep an eye on whether the netcode and input latency feel tighter in real matches. If this breakdown helps you decide whether to buy or wait, consider subscribing so you don't miss our other previews. Let's talk vibes. On Steam right now, the overall user rating sits at mixed, with 53% positive from roughly 1,000 plus reviews. That's not a death sentence, but it's a warning. PC players are split on the early experience. A lot of that heat came from advanced access snafus, with folks literally unable to get into the game or confused by unlocked times. EA responded with a public advanced access feedback update, acknowledging issues like players being unable to enter the game and saying teams are working around the clock. That's the right note, but the only apology fans care about is a patch that works. Zooming out, expectations boil down to three things. First, meaningful gameplay feel. Many players will give new animations and run curves a chance, but if the meta collapses into the same sprint cut sprint loop, the honeymoon ends fast. Second, stability and access. For a live service football game that sells early access and subs, day one friction hits trust twice as hard. Third, fairness. Ultimate Team will always be the revenue engine, but balance and rewards pacing decide whether casuals stick or bounce. Mixed reviews suggest EA hasn't convinced everyone there yet. The next couple of title updates will either swing the sentiment positive or cement the shrug. PC specific expectation check. The Steam page flags kernel level anti-cheat and denuvo, plus the EA app requirement. For some, that's a non-issue. For others, it's a red flag. If you're privacy conscious or had conflicts with anti-cheat drivers in the past, go in with your eyes open and make a restore point before installing. That's just smart PC hygiene. Here's where dates get messy, so let's be precise. On Steam, FC26 lists a September 25th, 2025 release with advanced access on now, if you buy the Ultimate Edition. EA's own release comms describe a September 26th worldwide launch with up to 7 days of advanced access for Ultimate Edition owners, depending on platform and region. Here's the bottom line for your wallet. FC26 is promising two real identities on the pitch, a sturdier fundamentals pass and more defined player roles. If those systems land, it could be the most noticeable step forward since the rebrand. But mixed early reviews on Steam and rocky advanced access mean launch stability, and first month tuning will decide whether the community rallies or rolls its eyes. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And check out our video about Silent Hill F. See you next time here on Nerd Section.